Hey! I gotta be honest with you. I am just still riding a massive high from that last episode. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you go back and watch that. The 100th episode was fantastic. It couldn't have gone any better than I could have ever imagined. Still a big shout out to the band for coming on the show. Cutthroat, thank you so much to the whole band. It was pretty much everything and anything that I could have ever wanted or ever asked for. And I'm just riding this wave, you know? I'm as high as a kite, man. I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. And yeah, we said goodbye to the double-digit episodes. Those are no longer, they're gone. We've seen the end of those days. And we're entering a new chapter. This is a new era of the Life's a Garden podcast. Triple digits only. And so we're going to ride that wave right on into episode 101. And you know what? We're just going to kick our feet up. It's going to be one of those episodes, one of those weeks. We're just going to chill. We're going to have a good time. And, you know, it's just going to be one of those weeks. So I recommend you crack open a cold one just like that and enjoy the ride. It's episode 101 of Life's a Garden. Don't mind me. Just enjoying a nice little cigar for episode 101. We did it. We're here. It's a new game. We're leveling up. And as far as you can probably tell, I don't really smoke a lot of cigars. I'm not a smoker per se. But this is a fine occasion, you know? Like, what you knew of the old, of yesterday, yesterday is not today. We're living in a new time. Literally. Every day. Every day is a new time. And I'm here to tell you, we are living in new days of Life's a Garden. It's different. It's different now. Literally, it was one of those moments last week. It was one of those moments where I visioned it. Everything that I visioned to be came to place. And it's not often that happens, really. Like, it doesn't happen that often. Where, and I've talked about this before, where you have a vision in your head, you have a picture of how things might go, and they don't always turn out the way you want them to. And so, when it does, it's a magical feeling. Like, it overwhelms you with, like, anything's possible. You know? Like, and that's the way it should be, you know? You should vision it. And if you can make that vision come to reality, you did it right. You did something right. So, yeah, that thing keeps going out. But it's just a I'm overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed with joy. By the way, shout out to the new intro song. I hope you guys enjoy that. That was a little special treat on the last episode. I hadn't announced that. Shout out to Jared Ewan, who's been on the podcast many a times. You know him. He made that intro, and it's something I've been like wanting to do for a very long time, is have an original intro to the podcast. We've been doing the same one for the whole time, but I'm very happy with that intro. So big shout out to Jared. Thank you for making that. And Yeah, man. It's just, we're on a new level. It's a new game. We're playing a different type of game here. And honestly, I know it's, what does that even mean, right? Like, what am I even talking about? New level, new game. Well, at this point, like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to do and say whatever the fuck I want on this thing. Not that that's ever been the case before. Like, I've always done it that way. But, I mean, if I'm going to be honest with you, like, if we're going to break it down, here's the thing. I'm going to live forever. That's just the bottom line. And I mean that metaphorically, so to say, because we don't, and that's a whole different mindset than what I was in, 3 months ago, where all I could think about was death and how death is inevitable and we all die, and I couldn't get death off the brain. But the bottom line is, now it's a different game. Because I'm going to live forever. And I mean that in the sense, there's 100+ episodes of this damn show out there in the ether. There's over 100 hours of my ridiculous voice and my stupid thoughts and my crazy opinions. Some of them are good, some of them are not. We know that. I know that. But it's out there. You got me for over 100 hours, well over 100 hours, because the guest episodes are usually an hour and a half, but you got to cut down the fact that I don't talk all the way through those episodes. It's easily 50-50 on the solo episodes and the regular episodes. And they're out there. You got over 100 hours of your boy just talking, just voicing his opinion into the ether. And it's gonna hopefully be there forever, Hopefully in some capacity, it's out there. And even when Elon Musk sticks our ass into a computer and plugs our consciousness into a vast data world of just like the AI universe, hopefully all known media, whether that be music, podcasts, radio, all known media will exist for consumption, and I will be out there in that universe as well. And if that is the case, I'm going to tell you right now to wake up, because you're in the machine. Just wake up, you're in the machine. So maybe that is going to be out there somewhere. And maybe you need to hear, whoever it is years from now can hear that, and they'll realize they're in a simulation. Yes, sir. 100 episodes ago, I told you that I was a celebrity. Episode 2, I told you that I was a celebrity now, and that was so early on in the podcasting. Fuck all that. I am not a celebrity. I'm a fucking king. I'm telling you, we leveled up. Celebrity? Fuck all that noise. I'm a king now. That's just how it is now. In my world, all we have is our own worlds. We only have the world that we operate in. In my world, and I'm not saying worship me like a king. Don't I'm not saying any of that. I'm not saying you're my subjects. I'm not saying that any of that. I'm my own king. I am the king of my own world. And that's just how it is. No more doom and gloom, no more thinking about death. I'm Peter Pan up in this bitch. I'm going to live forever. Minus the pedophilia. Peter Pan's a pedophile. But the concept of Peter Pan, the living forever, has nobody ever really thought of that? Like, nobody ever really thought to think Peter Pan's this never-ending... Is he a boy? Is he a boy? Because he's older than the lost children, right? And that's kind of weird that he's just this like endless living being who's older. I think he is a kid though. But I get weird vibes off that guy. So, and he's kind of fruity too anyway, right? Wears the tights. Yeah, it's kind of weird situation. And we already know he's a piece of shit. But anyway, the concept of Peter Pan. I'm living forever. I'm a king now. We forget what you know about anything that's happened in the past. Today, we'll live for today. And you are the king of your own universe too. That's the way to think about it. That is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate just kind of the fuck it attitude, right? You know, just fuck it all. I gotta say too, can you imagine? Well, it's not even imagine. Like, I'm telling you, I would be a horrendous king. Like, it's not even funny. I would not be a good king whatsoever. I'd pretty much just be like those kings of the past, like all the well-known kings who get fat and happy. They just gluttonize, they gorge themselves with food, and women just sucking and fucking all day. Like, that would be me to an absolute T. I would be a tyrant, chopping heads off. Pretty much whatever I wanted would be mine. And the scary thing about that is, you better pray that I never come in to a large sum of money, because even if I'm not a ruler of any kind, I will still have that mindset. It's too late. I mean, I already have that mindset. Doesn't mean I have the means to have whatever I want or do whatever I want. If I ever come into a large quantity of money, you best believe whatever I want is coming to fruition. If I wake up one day and I want the state of Wyoming wiped off the map, I'm making it happen. You understand? Like, I'm talking Elon Musk style money. Like, that's why it's so awesome that he bought Twitter. Because fuck it, right? Like, he wanted to buy it, so he bought it. That's how I would be. That's 100% how I would be. If I wanted something, it's mine. So, thank God I'm not an actual ruler. I would be a tyrant. You don't want the world I would create. But I will say, maybe you do. Now, I might plunge us into another Dark Ages. That's very possible. But I can promise you one thing. It would be fun. Like, I would make it a fun time. Just, I can't even imagine the rules I would make, or the absolute cynicism, and we basically the world, or not the world, but the country would just basically become another Sodom and Gomorrah. I would just no holds bar it, and it would be fun for a while. And yes, it would plunge us into another Dark Ages. But ask yourself, is it worse than what we have right now? Like, be honest with yourself. Is it worse than what we currently have? I say not. Because is anybody out there having any fun? Hell no. You go to the gas pump, you ain't having fun. That ain't fun. You're working a shitty fucking minimum wage job. Even if you're making good money, even if you're making 15, 16, 17 bucks an hour, you're struggling. Because the fucking food's expensive now. All the just everything's expensive, and you're making good money even, and you can't help but not get, you got to be in a real good situation. You got to have 5 roommates that are helping you pay the rent. Rent's $1,500 a month. It's bullshit, man. We ain't having any fun right now. If I was in charge, you best believe we'd be having fun. Nobody works no more. I'm automatically implementing automation. Like, as fast as we can. Automation is taking over. I don't care if the robots come for us, because we're here for a good time, not a long time. That's my motto. Because in the end, like I said, it all ends. So why not just have fun while we can? We're here to have fun. Let's have fun. Summer's almost here. Quit worrying. I mean, you can't help but worry about the state of the country. But let's just have fun. Let our hair down if we had any. Let's just have fun. I would be an absolute tyrant. Like, if you... Oh, man. It wouldn't be good. So let's just be happy I'm not a real king. But to me, in my heart, I am truly the king of my world. And I just can't wait to be king. 2 Disney references in a row. Let's make it a third, huh? It's the 101st episode. It's the Dalmatians episode. There, you got 3 Disney references. Boom, boom, boom. Peter Pan, the pedophile. Lion King, that is I. Plus, I'm a Leo, dude. I'm a Leo. Lion King. I am the Lion King. Who are we kidding here? My dad's dead, basically, right? You know? Not my real dad, but my father figure. I'm living the Lion King life, dude. I'm in that middle stage. I literally am Simba. I'm the Lion King. Past the I'm in that middle stage where he's just like chilling with Timon and Pumbaa, and they're just like not giving a fuck. Hakuna Matata means no worries, baby. We don't care. We're just out here having fun. Eventually, I'll become king, a real king. Eventually, I will take over Pride Rock, and that's just how, you know. But now we're in that middle stage. I'm in the middle phase where I'm just chilling with Timon and Pumbaa. We're eating bugs. We're just having a good old time. And then we got the 101 Dalmatians reference. Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. She's a psycho bitch. But yeah. So, that's all. I mean, we're looking at a new era here on Life's a Garden. I don't give a fuck. I'm over 100 episodes, man. If what I've said, if everything I've said so far hasn't got me in trouble, or I mean, I've said everything I can say on this thing. It's basically gonna be just what's going on now. I mean, I'll give fresh hot takes like I always do. Banger hot takes that you consume and you love. Spicy material. But it's just going to be a version of what I've said already. And if what I've said already isn't a problem, I'm sure somebody has a problem with something I've said down the line, we're just going to roll with it. I mean, I got to go harder in the paint, I guess. So expect heavy hitting things on this show, man. It's only up from here. I'm telling you that. We've reached the pinnacle, and guess what? There's more mountain to climb. You thought you reached the pinnacle? And then the clouds cleared, and look at that. We got a whole nother summit to take on. And we're going to reach that peak eventually, but not today. The new climb starts today. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. Let's get into some, let me give you a little sports roundup. It's been a minute since I talked a little sportsy on here. Speaking of kings, I am, of course, donning the NBA king, Nikola Jokic, back-to-back MVP. Knew it all along. I mean, it's, who could have seen it otherwise? It had to be Jokic. You know, we had this conversation last year, right? I talked about this. Sorry. Last year, we talked about how Jokic was clearly the winner, and Joel Embiid had a big problem with it. He threw kind of not a hissy fit, but like a backwards complimented, like, congratulations to Jokic, but I deserve this kind of a thing. You look at the numbers, dude. It's not even close. In fact, they should give Jokic the Strongest Man of the Year award as well, because he carried that whole team. Them some big boys. You carrying that team? Strongest man in the world. Telling you right now. So, I mean, that's all I can say about that, because the Nuggets are out of the playoffs, which sucks. Go figure, we had to lose to the goddamn Warriors, which I hate, because my brother, as you know from previous episodes, is a Warriors fan. Went to the Nuggets Warriors game in Denver. They beat our ass. I mean, it was a good game, but they still won, and that was not fun. And then I had to go to the playoffs and watch them beat our ass there. Last 3 games were exciting. Last 3 games were fun. We stayed in it. First 2, though, what the hell was that? Total domination. They had our number. But what do you do when it's basically just one guy versus the whole squad? And that's why he got MVP. Back-to-back MVP. First player in history to have 2,000 plus points, 1,000 plus rebounds, and 500 plus assists. No player in the history has ever done that. Congratulations to my boy, the Joker, Nikola Jokic. Hockey. Playoff hockey is a go. Now, while my Nuggets may currently be out, then the same cannot be said for the Colorado Avalanche, who swept the Preds in the first round. I called that. I called it. And because I don't bet on my own teams, I probably would have raked in some dough on that one. I called it from the beginning. Avs in 4. I've been saying it. I should have bet on it, but I don't bet on my own teams because it's bad luck. I've never had good luck doing that. So, what do? You know? So, yeah. Colorado Avalanche advance. They are in the second round. So far, we're going to play it looks like the Blues next. Man, at least there's some Colorado sports teams that are still in it. We know the Rockies are going to be ass. They always are. They had a good start like they always do. They're going to fall off. We know this. We don't talk about baseball in this house because baseball sucks. But yeah, Avalanche, they're the front runners to win the Stanley Cup. So playoff hockey right now is the must-watch sport, at least for me. Basketball's still fun. You know, there's still some good stuff going on in basketball. I'm not complaining. But what do? You know? So, NFL, let's see. The NFL schedule just came out. I do believe I will be traveling to go see the Broncos versus Titans game, which will be fun. Going to Nashville. That's in November. There's some other good games that hopefully I'll get to go to. Maybe go down to definitely go down to Denver for one of those games. Couple primetime games in Denver. That'd be cool. Let's see. I mean, there's not much I can say about. I never really talked about the draft, but there's not much to say, honestly. Like, it was kind of a weak class this year. Not too many big quarterback names. Not too many, you know. I didn't really know anybody. Hutchinson, the one thing I can say, there was a lot of players who went to their hometown, which was cool. The quarterback, Pickett is his name, I think, right? Quarterback from Pitt went to Pittsburgh. That was cool. Hutchinson, who played, he played in Michigan. He went to college in Michigan, but he's been a Michigan boy his whole life. High school, all that stuff. Goes to the Detroit Lions, which sucks for him, but is cool that he's still in his hometown, you know, or in his home state, repping the home team. There was a lot of that. There was a few teams like that the players went to their home city or whatever. Broncos got Nick Bonito in the second round. That was like our big pick. They said it was the biggest upset, or not upset, but like the best valued pick in the second round. So that's kind of cool. I don't really know what to expect from any of our rookies, but week 1, Broncos, Seahawks, Monday Night Football in Seattle. Gonna be a fun game. Russ goes back to Seattle. First game of the season. You're really gonna do that to the boy? God damn. And I'll tell you what. Every time we've had a player that's had to play his opposing team. Like when Peyton always had a hard time playing the Colts. So Russ going to Seattle, I'm a little nervous. Here's the deal. Russ is either going to choke in that first game, and then there's going to be all this speculation: is Russ going to be okay? Like, was Russ a good choice for the Broncos? Is he, past his? They're going to have all the conversations if he performs poorly, which he could, because he might have that like emotions and stuff like that. There could be a blockage there, or fucker's going to throw for 5 touchdowns and we're going to stomp their ass. Now, here's the thing. I don't think we're going to lose to Seattle because they don't have anybody. Like, there's nothing that they can do to stop us in my mind. Even if we can't score points, they're not going to be able to either. So it's either going to be a really boring game or we're going to trash them, is the case. And I can't wait. It's going to be a blast. I'm going to have a big old party, Monday Night Football. Yeah, that's basically all I got to say about that. And there's some other great games. We got the opening game, I think, is Bills, Rams. What a game. What a great opening game. That's going to be a blast. I don't think I've been this excited for NFL football in a very long time. So I'm just so stoked. And I can't wait I really can't. I can't wait for some NFL football. It's going to be fun. Let's see what else. UFC, man, I didn't talk about this one. I meant to talk about it, and I never did. So, two pay-per-views ago, man, I had first of all, before I even get to that, I had a 4-fight parlay. Four fighters. 4-fight parlay paid out for like $180 because I had some underdogs on there. And then one of the fights... it was a 5-fight. I had a 5-fight parlay, $180. I don't think there was underdogs. I think the line was just close enough or whatever that the payout was that much. And one of the fights got canceled. Two of the fights got canceled on my parlay. So I had to I didn't know if that ticket was even valid. It probably wasn't after two fights got canceled. So right before the fight, I tried to do another 5-fight parlay. Didn't pay out nearly as much. So I did a 7-fight parlay with 2 underdogs. Now, I don't know what the deal is. Montana odds do not reflect off of Vegas odds. I wish they did, because in Vegas, 2 of the guys on my fight card were underdogs. Here, apparently they weren't. On a 7-fight parlay, it was going to pay out like 130. You explain that to me. I got 7 over 5. The 5 pays out more. None of them were underdogs. You explain that to me, okay? I don't get it. Anyway, short story long, I got the 7-fight parlay. And I won 6 out of 5. Or 6 out of 7. The one I lost was Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling. And that was a split decision. Controversial. Well, not controversial. It didn't end in controversy. But a lot of people thought Petr Yan won that fight, myself included. Now, I'm biased, so it's hard to speak on that, because obviously I wanted him to win for the sake of, winning money. But that's close, man. And then, of course, this last pay-per-view, I had a four fight parlay. One of them canceled, Donald Cerrone. And I bet the night before, everyone made weight. Donald Cerrone ended up with fucking food poisoning. So I couldn't make my bet on that. And I lost. Plus, but it doesn't matter, because Rose lost and Gaethje lost. So as far as UFC goes, I am in the shitter on my bets. But that one, I will say, getting 6 out of 5, that's pretty damn good. That tells me that I'm still pretty damn good at this thing. So, no complaints from me on that. And I'll keep betting until I win. Speaking of betting, dude, I really thought I was going to cash out on this fucking crypto wave. Whoo! I got out just in time. Like, I think I pretty much just broke even. Yeah, I don't think I made any money. I just got all my money back. Thankfully, because, dude, that shit is crashing. Which, to me, I don't know if it's a good sign or a bad sign. I know nothing of stock markets. Like, crypto is basically the closest to stock markets I've even remotely been close to paying attention to or understanding in the least. And, dude, it pisses me off because I could have cashed out for more, but I didn't understand the app and how to do it. Now I do, of course, now that I didn't cash out for anything. Man, crypto's tanking. Which I should have known. Like, I knew it was a fucking gimmick. I knew it was a fucking joke. Crypto, it's a scam, dude. I tell you, these NFTs or whatever they are, it's a scam. It's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. And I didn't get had. You know, I tried it. I dipped my toes in the water, and it didn't work out. And luckily, I got my feet out just in time before the piranhas start nipping at them. I can't say the same for other people, and I didn't put a lot of money in. I did not. So thankfully for that. Let me get another hit off this freaking cigar. Shout out to Swisher Sweets, baby. Only time I really smoke cigars, honestly, is when I'm celebrating. And today we are celebrating. Celebrating a new era, as you know. We are celebrating my crowning as king. Come on, bitch. Yeah. Yeah, I think the only times I've ever had cigars are when I'm, weddings, usually. I think I had a couple when when my buddy's kid was born. Not Mac, but my friend Brad. You know what? Well, speaking of kids, let's move on to like I said, man, we're in a new time. We're going to talk about the real issues and, of course, the most controversial issues, because I gotta take it up a notch. And, of course, you know a topic in the news lately. Roe V Wade is back in the news. Now, this is one of those topics, this is just one of those issues that seems to get brought up about every 5 years or so, give or take. It's just one of those things that, like, when it's not being talked about enough, or you know, it breathes, it has time to breathe, and then it comes back around. Somehow or some way, it comes back around. And here we are again with Roe v. Wade. Supposedly, there was a leak that the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade. No real proof to this or evidence of such that I'm aware of. You know, let me just say that. I am very unaware of the situation, whatever the current situation is. But it sparked controversy, as any time this topic gets brought up. It's probably the most divisive, maybe not the most, but it's one of the most divisive. Definitely one of the most uncomfortable topics when it comes to social, political issues that there really is. And I would agree with that. Like, I don't like talking about it, really. I mean, everybody has their opinion about it. Everybody is vocal about it. And it's just one of those really... and here's what I'll say. I do understand both sides. I really do. And I get why everybody feels the way they do about the situation. Now, here's what I will say regarding the overall issue. Nothing. I'm not going to say anything. You know why? Because I'm a guy. And it's not my issue to debate. It's not my issue to give my opinion on. Because I'm not a woman. Now, I can understand, I do understand the concept of, yes, a man should be able to have a say in the life of his child. But I'm not in that situation. You know, I'm not in the situation where I have a pregnant girl. Now, if that were the case, if I knocked up a girl and we were having that conversation, yeah, I do think that I have a little bit of a say in the matter. But ultimately, the woman's the one who carries for 9 months. The woman's the one who is the vessel of life. So if they want to have the conversation, if they want to have the debate and figure it out, let them do it. As a man, I have no say. You know, like I said, if I'm in a situation where, you know, I get a girl pregnant and me and her have that conversation, that's between me and her. And yeah, I can voice my opinion and I can give her my thoughts, but ultimately, I can't tell her what to do. It's on her. I'll give her my thoughts. I'll give her my opinions. I'll you know, whatever that is. And we'll have a conversation. But in the end, it's on her. Like, it's in her court because it's in her uterus, bro. And I am nobody to say that they have that you know, who am I to tell them what to do with their body? I wouldn't expect the same from anybody else to do of me. You know, if anybody tells me, oh, you know, I don't like your beard, you know, you should shave that. Fuck them, dude. Fuck what you think of me and my body. I'm going to do whatever I want with my body. And that's just it. Now, then you get into the conversation of morality and all that, and I understand it. You know, I understand both sides of this conversation. I get women having the right to do what they want with their body. No government entity and no single individual person should have the right to tell somebody what they can and cannot do with their body. On the other hand, I do understand the concept, you know, I get the idea of preserving life. And I understand the idea of, you know, just life in general and all that. And I will not give my exact opinion on here because it doesn't matter. That's the thing. And everybody has opinion and everybody is valid for their opinion. Enough of this attacking stuff. You're a human, like, if you want to be somebody who is pro-choice and say, you know, we have the right to do with our bodies as we please, then you can't tell somebody what to think. You can't chastise somebody for having an opposite belief. Now, I do understand if that, you know, if we start talking about law, but opinions and all that, thoughts and opinions, no. We can't have that, like, people are allowed to think and feel the way they want to think and feel, and you can't, that's where we get to this offended shit, and that's where we get to the whole, like, just stop, you know? If you want to have the right to do with your body what you want to do, then you can't tell me what I can say or think or feel. We're talking about physicality stuff here. And you're trying to tell me I'm not allowed to think a certain way? And I'm not trying to tell you how I think and feel. I already told you, basically. I understand both sides. I truly do. And it's not my place. It's not my place to interject on the situation. However, as you know, what I will do is one of my favorite things to do anytime. And that is, I'll gladly point out the absolute hypocrisies in your almighty politics and your almighty political views. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things to do, honestly, because politics are shitty. And if politics are your identity, then you suck. You're uninteresting. You're boring. If your identity is a political agenda, you're boring. So why don't I go ahead and just point out the absolute hypocrisies from both sides of this issue, okay? Now, I love to pick on the left because they're super easy to pick on. But I'm going to start with the right today, okay? Now, the right, they preach the idea of, pro-life. We want to preserve life. And life begins at conception. Well, if we're going to talk about that, then every period is an abortion. Every time I shoot out a fucking fistful of knuckle children, that's an abortion. We're expelling life left and right out of our fucking penises every day. So truly that is life. Now, if we're going to, that might be a little bit of a stretch, sure. Life begins at conception, okay? When a sperm meets a egg and fertilizes. We'll just say that, okay? In the right's eyes, life begins at conception. And I understand, okay? I get it. That's the thing. We've all been there. Not a single one of us wasn't at that stage. So there's a thought for you. But here's the thing. They care about life so much until you're born. They don't give a fuck if you have health care. They don't give a fuck if you are poor. They don't give a fuck if you go die in wars. So your life matters right up until the point you're born. Once you're born, don't give a fuck about you. If you're a drug addict, we don't care about getting you help. If you're a fucking, like I said, if you're poor, who gives a fuck? If you're, it's like, we want guns to extinguish life. We want to promote guns to extinguish life, but we want to be pro-life here and make sure that you don't vacuum out that baby. So there is a bit of hypocrisy in that level when it comes to the right. Now the left, the left is the left, and they're easy to pick on. And here we go again. Okay, we are pro-choice. Meaning the woman has the right to choose in the decision of the life of the unborn child. Now, as I had already mentioned, there's this whole concept of science and, where does life begin? And then there's that, there's the scientific idea of heartbeat. When does a heartbeat begin? When you're the peanut, you're not technically a person. And that's fair. Like, I get it. Like, nobody remembers being that, but we all were, and here we are, here we stand, it's like, so you were still potential life, but I get the concept of, like, incest, rape, just, if the child is, going to be born with deformities or things like that, or it gets dicey. It gets dicey. But I get it. Like, I understand those concepts. But if you're gonna be, it's like we're pro-choice, and the mother should have the right to choose basically the fate of a potential life. But here we preach Black Lives Matter, trans lives matter, so, whatever, gay lives matter, all this shit. All the lives matter, except the unborn lives that are the absolute most vulnerable and have no say whatsoever in their circumstance. It's hypocritical. All lives matter except for the unborn lives. And then you can have the concept of, well, you know, you don't have any conscious thought, right? You don't have any conscious thought when you're unborn. Well, you don't have any conscious thought when you're dead either. But does that make your life any less significant? You know what I'm saying? Does your life before it begins have any more or less significance than when it ends? I don't know. Something to think about, though. Also, here's the thing. If you're a left-wing vegan, which, by the way, I mean, not to say that all vegans are left-wing, not to say that all vegans are left-wing, but all left-wing vegan... How do I say this? Not all left-wingers are vegans. But anyway. Yeah, I thought I had something philosophical there, but apparently not. Essentially, no matter what, if you're a vegan and you're pro-choice, all I gotta say to you is get the fuck out of here. You're a vegan and you're pro-choice? What? You care about a cow's life. You care about a fucking chicken's life. But you don't care about a potential human's life? What? What are we talking about here? But then, of course, you're going to say, I get the argument. I understand. I'm in it. Well, we care about the woman's life. We care about the person's life. It's not about the fetus's life. It's about the woman's life. Well, guess what, motherfucker? You don't eat eggs because they're unborn chicken fetuses. So clearly, you do care about unborn fetuses. Just not the human ones. So if you're a vegan and you're pro-choice, you're the most hypocritical on the planet. So do me a favor, put on a vest with a bunch of pockets, get on your cargo shorts, and take a fucking hike. The most hypocritical. But yeah, so ultimately in the end, like I said, I'm not going to speak upon, there's nothing more I love than just turning a big old middle finger to political ideology that so many people, preach as gospel. They look at political agenda and ideology as gospel, and there's nothing better than turning it on its head and making you see the ass end of it. It's all bullshit. That's why you gotta have an open mind. You gotta be open-minded about this shit. And I gotta be honest, as open-minded as I am and as independent as I am, there is no topic more difficult to tackle or more difficult to try and have an opinion on or to try and wrap my head around than Roe V Wade and that. I don't even like saying the word. I haven't said the word once. I don't like saying it. It's that much of an issue. You know what I mean? But fortunately for me, I have a penis. And that means I don't really have to worry about having an opinion. Now, here's the thing too. I will say this: if you as a woman, if I can't tell you what to do with your body, And that's totally understandable. Hey, I'm on board with that. I am on your side. I should not have the right to tell you what to do with your body. But if that's the case, you can't tell me what I can do with my penis. So if I want to show you at the bar, you can't say boo about it, okay? That's just the thing. If I want to whip that puppy out and be like, check this out, then you can't say shit about that either. If I can't tell you what to do, you can't tell me what to do with my body. All right? Is that fair? Is that fair enough to say? Come on. I mean, I think we're all on the same page, right? Oh boy. Let's hit another one. Let's get another hit. Ooh. How you guys doing, by the way? I don't ask that enough. I hope you guys are doing great. And I hope you enjoyed that 100th episode. I really did. I worked super hard on that. And the fact that it went off, like I said, I had a vision in my head of everything. From the thumbnail to just, it worked. It all worked so well. And I couldn't have asked for anything better. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode and every episode moving forward, really. Great audio. That's a winning audio. But guess what, dude? I don't care. I don't care. We're back to that again. Also, if I was king, Roe V Wade wouldn't be the only issue. Like, you don't even gotta worry about that. If I'm king, fuck, dude. I'm allowing up to 3 murders. You can have up to 3 murders, dude. And then I can't let you go around just like serial killing and have no, you gotta have a little bit of reasoning behind it. But you know what? If somebody pisses you off at a sports game, and yeah, you get 3. You got 3 strikes and you're out, And I promise you, if I implement that rule, I bet we live in a much politer society. If you were out there knowing that everybody had 3 green lights to murder you, oh, you ain't talking sideways to anybody. You aren't being a smart ass. I mean, you're gonna have those people that are like, man, I don't want to waste this one on you. I got 3. I don't want to waste it on you, but I fucking will, dude. Especially if people are, not in the right frame of mind. If I implemented 3 free kills per person, and you don't have to use them, but you get them, I bet we live in a much politer society. People aren't trash talking on the internet. People aren't, if you knew your words had imminent consequence, oh, you'd shut the fuck up. You wouldn't be talking shit. You wouldn't be being an asshole. You'd be the nicest motherfucker praying somebody just didn't have it out for you. Also, hey, guess what? It's kind of already like that. So just don't be an asshole. Just be a good person. Because it kind of is already like that. People do get killed over less. We live in the best. Everybody would be a great driver. Everybody would be nice to each other on the internet. This is the kind of society that I promise you, if you elect me king. Now, it can't be president, because I couldn't get away with it. It's got to be king. I have to be a dictative king in order for all this stuff to happen. So just keep all that in mind. I know I'm running a great campaign right now. I know you really want me as your king. I'm just laying it out. I'm being honest with you. These are the promises that I'm making. Also, Super Bowl Monday, you get the day off. So, just to sweeten the pie. Just putting that out there. I will make Super Bowl Monday a federal holiday. But yeah, I mean, I'll close this bad boy out by saying this. Be your own king. Or queen. Yes, queen. Be your own king or queen. Whatever you know. Be your own, because your life, just think of it this way. Everybody's life, you're the lead role. Like, you're the star. You're the star in your own life. You're the main character. And you write the script, dude. You write the script. You're the main character in your own story. And on top of that, you're the director and the writer. You get to write the whole story. You get to direct it in whatever direction you want it to be in. And you get to be in the starring role. Be your own king. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know, as long as it's within law. Like, I'm not telling you go be lawless. But it's like this, okay? Like, I thought about this the other day. Because somebody came up to me and asked me if I wanted to buy something, you know? And I'm so much the person that I hate saying no. Like, immediately. Because this guy came up to me at work and was like, hey, do you want to go half and half on this thing? And I was like, immediately in my heart, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. But I'm so much the person that I have sympathy and empathy, which are good things. You know, don't get me wrong; these are good things. But it's to the point that I have so much sympathy and empathy that I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings by straight up just saying no. I'm just not interested. Which is all, like, that wouldn't have upset him if I was like, nah, man, I'm not interested. Just be honest. Just tell him. Don't beat around the fucking bush. Just say no. Like, I know I don't want it. And if it hurts his feelings, that's on him. It's not your fault that his feelings are hurt, that you don't want to do something. So it's like, but of course, like, I'm going to make up, like, in my head now, I'm making up excuses as to why I can't buy it. Okay. The other day, right? I'm getting my hair cut. And the gal is like, oh, your head is really, like, your scalp is really dry. I know, dude, it's, my scalp has been fucking dry since it's forever. And it's not dandruff. Don't fucking come at me saying I got dandruff and I'm a nasty motherfucker. It's dry skin. I have a condition where I have, like, just dry skin. Okay? It's part of life. That's what I deal with. What the fuck ever. I've been dealing with it for my whole life. And she's like, oh, like, and I get it. It's her job. It's her job to notice. It's her job to sell product. And she tells me, oh, we have this and this that are really good for dry scalp. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm just not interested. And here I am beating around the bush. I'm like, I'm not today. Like, I'm trying to be nice and stuff. And she's trying to sell me, and I get it. I get it. She's got to make money. I'm sure she gets a commission on it. And she's just trying to do her job. But what I should have fucking said was, like, if I was going to be honest, I would have said, no, I'm not interested, because since I've been fucking 6, every person that's ever cut my hair ever has told me the exact same thing. I've bought all the products, and guess what? None of them worked. Also, do I look like somebody who gives a fuck about my hair? I'm this close to just bicking it. I don't give a fuck. You're telling the wrong dude. I don't give a fuck about my hair. Or my fucking skin treatments. I don't care. Bottom line is, I didn't want to spend $60. Should have just said that. So, what I'm trying to say is, whatever your heart tells you, and that goes the opposite, man. It goes the opposite. You know, there's a trip you want to go on, or there's like an event you want to attend. And you're making all these excuses as to why you shouldn't do it. You're like, oh, but it's too much money. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. You're making all these excuses as to why you shouldn't do the thing that you know in your heart that you want to do. You know you want to do that. So just fucking do it. That's all I'm saying. Listen to your heart. If your heart says no, then don't do it. If your heart says yes, do it. Because you know what that leads to? If you ignore that intuition, if you ignore what your heart is telling you, whether it's yes or no, and you do the opposite, it leads to regret. And you don't want that. Trust me, I've been there. We've all been there. We all know what regret is. And you know why you have regret? It's because you didn't listen to that instinct. You didn't listen to what your heart was telling you. Your heart was telling you yes, and you said no. And now you have regret. So don't live that way. Be the king of your own life. Be the ruler of your own life. Take control. Take action. Be your own. Be the leading star in the play that is your life. That's what I'm telling you. Okay? Go out and be the king be the king, be the queen, be whatever it is that you want to be. Just listen to that instinct. Listen to your heart. Because it ain't wrong. You know? And I'll tell you what. Sometimes it might not be smart. But you're not going to regret it. That's the thing. You're not going to regret it. And that's how we're going to end episode 101, baby. As always, thank you so much for listening. I do appreciate you. This was a fun episode, man. And this is how it's going to be. We're leveling up, okay? It's a new day. It's a new era of Life's a Garden. Triple digits only. And 3's the lucky number. And we got a lot of triple digits ahead of us. So, with that being said, be your own king. Listen to your heart. You know, just do whatever it is that your heart tells you, and you won't regret it. Because, as always, life's a garden. Dig it. Just gotta keep on keeping on.
Life's a garden, dig it?